a psychologist, organizational psychologist, and the topic which I will present today is about personality structure. Actually, we chose one of them, obsessive compulsive personality, but there are more. I will tell it later. And this topic appeared in my life when I became manager in the company. The company is not big, it's a consultancy company, so I manage 20 people. And when I became manager, I just came to different issues. I realized that there are more things for me to understand about myself. Why some of those managerial things are difficult to conduct sometimes, because I feel I know a lot as a consultant, as a psychologist, but still there are some limitations in my mind and my heart, and that's how I came to personality topic more deeply, more deeply. So now I lead trainings for managers based on this personality topic. So what will we talk about today? First of all, I cannot talk about concrete personality organization or structure without introducing you to the personality topic itself. I will not take long to present it, but still I will tell the key things for you maybe to know. And you can see, first of all, we have at least to get an idea what is personality. You may have heard different terms: personality, temperament, traits, and etc. You could raise the question, what is personality and when it becomes a disorder, for example, OCD. You may have heard this obsessive compulsive as disorder, not as personality type, and some other questions. I didn't tell yet, but you can actually ask questions on the go. I think it's easier for you to ask than for me to answer. Still, there are a lot of slides. I know that I will not go through all of them. I'm free to be flexible. So I hope I will notice your questions on the chat. So let me start from those first questions. What is personality? I like people asking to ask people in the audience who like to discuss. So it's not so easy just to tell the answer, because there is no answer actually, and all times philosophers as well as psychologists, they are thinking, trying to find out the solution, answer, and there are a lot of descriptions. Still, there is no actually answer. Still, it's an answered question, but we have to have basis. So there are different perspectives in East and West, and you can see in this slide, Elvis represents West in this case, and this meditating lady represents East. And I like the perspective in the East that actually there is no fixed personality. Just personality is kind of flow of experience, which is different from moment to moment, and the moment now, here and now moment, is based on previous moments. So you are a different personality each second. So based on these thoughts, it's hard to talk about any constant personality, also about obsessive compulsive personality. But it's another topic. I will leave that. We'll have this Western description of personality, that it is actually a tendency for the person to act in similar ways in similar situations. So meaning that actually our behavior has kind of the beginning of our behavior is our thoughts. Thoughts are influencing and creating our emotions, and emotions are creating our behavior, meaning that dealing with our emotions or controlling them usually means dealing with our thoughts. And at the same time, we can say that personality at this point, it is kind of the sum of stories we tell ourselves in different life situations. Also the stories about the world itself, about communication among people, and etc. So that's the answer. That's the answer. When we talk about personality, actually we try to understand the stories, the whole book of stories a person has in his mind, and usually those stories are quite constant. If we are asking what kind of manager he has to be, or how he understands relationship, and etc., etc., etc. So this constant set of stories is what we can call the personality, and of course how we react to different situations according to those stories. So, saying that, we can say that the usual question is that there is kind of two parts for personality, and one part is inborn and another part is learned. And usually when we talk about inborn part, we usually talk about temperament, and this means you can imagine like a volcano, and volcano has different ways of throwing away this, I don't know, fire. It can be very strong, it can be long-lasting, or it can be very polite, it can be very short. So the same is with temperament. It has the same characteristics. And just talking about our emotions, are they quick to raise? Are they long to last? Are they quick to slow down? And this part is usually inborn. And what is not inborn, it's experience-based part. This the one I already told. Stories we learn while being with our parents, while experiencing different life situations. So that answers also to the question I usually hear from people: is it possible to change personality? And that's the answer. It's highly difficult to influence our temperament, although it's possible. Still, it's not so hard to change our perception of reality and our reactions to it. Still, you have to work quite a lot. It's not so easy. Usually, we have to experience the situations of discomfort. It means that we have to stay in the situation we don't like, not to run away as we are used to, but to stay in the situation and try to behave in another way. So changing personality means changing the story to what we are telling to ourselves, as well as changing, of course, the reactions and behavior. And mindfulness practices, actually, these are very important here, and they can be used to change our personality, because mindfulness is about knowing or being capable of paying attention to our thoughts in our given moment, paying attention to our emotions, and choosing consciously thoughts as well as emotions. It may sound very easy, and of course, you know, it's not so easy as it sounds. Still, it can be done. Also, what you have to know now, it's quite interesting, and a lot of actually studies of brain and neuroscience is telling a lot about personality issues, and one of the interesting terms is Connectome. It means that neuroscientists, they can make a photo of neural connections, and usually I like to say that those neural connections, it's kind of a photo of our picture of our personality. And by changing our thoughts, we change, in the long term, we change the picture of our Connectome. So, in finalizing, the Connectome could be changed by adopting new thoughts, feelings, and behavior. And what is important, you shouldn't suppress your old ones, meaning that usually people by trying to change personality, they get very critical to our to himself or ourselves, critical to what they think, to what they feel, and usually it is the beginning of difficulties and actually problems. So when we help to change for people, we usually teach them to accept what they are and still to adopt new thoughts and new behavior, meaning that new thoughts and new behavior will step by step take the core position in your life, and the old way of doing things will just vanish without suppressing it. So this part is very important for Western people who are very ambitious and usually very critical to ourselves. As one of psychologists, father of Gestalt psychologists, told that first of all you have to kind of accept yourself if you want to become whatever you want. So this is the story I'll tell you now. And two more actual things before talking about the obsessive compulsive personality. So what is the healthy personality? We can talk about continuum of obsessive compulsive personality, meaning that in the healthy part it is quite flexible, adaptive person, and as it becomes more and more rigid and there's nothing else is left in his behavior except obsessive compulsive reactions, which I will tell you later, it becomes actually a disease or disorder, sorry, not a disease. And that is why you can hear very very strange names like hysteria, histrionic personality, or schizoid personality. Still, you can hear schizoid disorder. So each of us has a lot of different those personality structures. So I just told important sentence, but I will explain it later. That not later now. I can do it. When we are talking about the healthy personality and when we're talking about disorder, I usually use, I'll try to show this example. Personality is like a wire. You can see a lot of different colors in this wire. And a healthy personality, it is personality which has a lot of colors in it, meaning that one wire in this net of wires will be obsessive compulsive personality, part of obsessive compulsive. Another wire will be, for example, yellow one, narcissistic personality. Yeah. So when I say that we have, each of us has every personality structure inside, that's what I mean. But usually we have the one which is the strongest. You can see this white wire inside. For example, this net of wires, it's meant, for example, for narcissistic personality. It means only the thing that the core of this person is narcissistic. But in different situations, sometimes he behaves as, I don't know, compulsive personality. So this is how healthy person looks. That means that healthy person has to be different, to be adaptive in different situations. Meaning that disorder is when person acts in certain way, not because he is meant to do that, not because it is needed for the result, but because he cannot do otherwise. So, for example, here, this one is already, we can talk about disorder, meaning that only one part of one structure is in his person, in this person, for example, obsessive compulsive, and in all different situations, he will act in very similar way. So maybe it will help us to talk about personality now. when I show this example. So here you see different structures, different names, different personality types, I can say that. And on the right photo you can see the book, which was, and the lady, Nancy McWilliams, was visiting Latvia and Lithuania a couple of years ago. She was she inspired me to go into this topic deeper and deeper and deeper. And here you see different personality types. So we choose today to talk more about obsessive compulsive one. So shortly, final thing for introduction, why to talk about it in organizations. So what I'm talking about during my training. First of all, managerial style is strongly related with yours and yours manager personality, and usually it indicates where I have to grow as a manager, knowing my personality, knowing my limitations, also knowing my strengths, which I can use for better of the organization. The whole other thing, teamwork and constructing teams, also thinking about motivation for the person, because different personalities, they are motivated by very different things, the values which are important for the person, etc., etc., etc. So, constrained, I usually use this word for those who are afraid of different terms, and professional terms, obsessive compulsive. And in my trainings, I usually use movies. It's a very good way to see people and to talk about different characters. Safer not to talk about myself, about my manager, about my wife or my husband, just to talk about De Niro in movie Silver Linings, or the mayor of the town in movie Chocolate, and all other movies, and also in heroes you can see pictures of. So I will show you, if we will have more time, a couple of short movies, short versions of the movies just later on. Now, you may find a lot of different funny pictures of what does it mean, obsession and compulsion, what those words mean, and this slide obviously shows what do they mean by those words. But being more precise, how obsession is different from compulsion. Actually, it could be very different persons. Sometimes person can be obsessive but not compulsive, and vice versa. Just in matter of decision, they are connected. But sorry for that. It's never mind. Just bear in mind obsessive compulsive personality. So obsession is actually obsession with mind, with thoughts. Sorry. And it should usually it is repetitive thoughts which are disturbing person. Those thoughts can be that I know everything is polluted with I don't know bacteria, or I have an idea that if I don't wear my my tie, I will lose the tender, etc. Different thoughts which are repetitive. And compulsion, it is kind of not kind of, but it's repetitive behavior which releases or removes, we can say, I don't know, we can say maybe so, anxiety which is created by thoughts. So if I have an obsession, an idea that I have, I know that bacteria are all around, I will usually will wear gloves for me to relax. If I have the obsession that I have to decide on some different different questions, and I don't know which decision is good. I will try to use the coin for making a decision. It also could be compulsive behavior. I can wear, as I told already, exact pants, I don't know, shoes for tender because they are lucky for me. Those are compulsive behavior which releases or removes anxiety. So these are just explanation of terms, and now we can just see. I will talk, and Emma will show us a short movie from basketball world, where we can see compulsive behavior of basketball players.
Let's talk about your most memorable free throw tradition. You know, a lot of people have certain routines. They'll hit the side of their face, hit their chest, bounce the ball a certain way. Who do you think, do you remember all the time seeing on TV going, I know exactly what he's going to do right now at the free throw line?
The one that kind of annoyed me was Karl Malone.
Karl Malone always said something. No one knows what
he's saying. I don't know what he was saying. That's what annoyed me, man. I just like, God, what is he saying?
No one knows what he said.
Nobody understood what he was saying at the line, but he was speaking a lot.
Nah, you wouldn't tell nobody. No one knows, man. No one knows.
2 bounces forward, then he brings it to the side, then he shoots the free throw.
Hamilton, a lethal shooter at 88%.
And he bent so low, both legs, and watching him really makes me, hurting, my leg.
I don't know if he blew a kiss or not, but I remember every time he got to the free throw line, he would rub the side of his face.
With the sweatband, yeah, it was wristband, yeah.
In the bag, he goes behind his back.
Puts it behind his back 3 times.
This afternoon, he makes it, and Washington.
So you saw basketball players doing those routine stuff, and as I told, these are called compulsions, which are for those people are used to lower anxiety, and they think they can be more precise by doing those things precise while throwing free throws and etc. So all compulsions actually they are very strong in the sports world, but not only there. Just an example. So now coming, not coming, but going further with explanation. What does it mean? How does it look? This personality in our everyday life. First of all, we can look at some descriptions and understanding how this person lives his life, and first thing you have to understand that this person usually he lives in his mind, in his head, and relies very much on thinking and doing things. He is always planning, he is always acting, he is always overdoing something, and actually this person neglects and the values. He actually doesn't go into the world of feeling, sensing, intuition, playing, and etc. All those things are quite far from his life. And when you usually ask this person, "What do you feel about something?" the answer from their side is what they think, not what they feel. And I will tell you later, but it's important to know that it is very hard for them to go into close relationship because of being in thinking mode, less in feeling mode. They're usually very, formal with their surrounding people, and they don't like being informal. They are actually annoyed by those people who are very informal. For compulsive, obsessive compulsive personality, you have to be, as I told, very formal and not showing your emotions, not being spontaneous, as they are actually they are very constrained, and they are not showing not only their emotions, but they are trying not to be spontaneous, because for them being spontaneous it's actually being unpredictable and uncontrollable. And as I will tell you also later, they need to feel control in their life. So these things first for you to know. And now we can, for me it will be easier to talk and for you easier to listen if we will watch a very short movie, 3 minutes, and it can be seen very vividly. Yeah, I see Emma is preparing the right movie. It can be seen very vividly what do I mean by obsessive compulsive personality. So let us watch now, and I will comment later.
This is a story about a man named Harold Crick and his wristwatch. Harold Crick was a man of infinite numbers, endless calculations and remarkably few words. And his wristwatch said even less. Every weekday, for 12 years, Harold would brush each of his 32 teeth 76 times. 38 times back and forth, 38 times up and down. Every weekday, for 12 years, Harold would tie his tie in a single Windsor knot instead of the double, thereby saving up to 43 seconds. His wristwatch thought the single Windsor made his neck look fat, but said nothing. Every weekday for 12 years, Harold would run at a rate of nearly 57 steps per block for 6 blocks, barely catching the 8:17 Kronecker bus. His wristwatch would delight in the feeling of the crisp wind rushing over its face. And every weekday for 12 years, Harold would review 7.134 tax files as a senior agent for the Internal Revenue Service.
Correct section 1.469-2BI. Thanks.
Harold, 89 times 1,417.
126,113.
That adds up.
Only taking a 45.7-minute lunch break and a 4.3-minute coffee break, timed precisely by his wristwatch.
Oh, great. Yeah, we'll go to Mullins.
Beyond that, Harold lived a life of solitude. He would walk home alone. He would eat alone. And at precisely 11:13 every night, Harold would go to bed alone, placing his wristwatch to rest on the nightstand beside him. That was, of course, before Wednesday.
Just this short question, or you even may watch later the whole movie. It is called Stranger Than Fiction, and you can see this character very well presented as this obsessive compulsive personality. So without watching, let me tell about those people, about us actually. Each of us has it a little bit, some of us more or less. So first of all, we should understand the motives behind the behavior of each personality type, and that's what I am interested actually, the question why. And of course there are a lot of different possible answers, but the psychologists they believe that the drive for those people first of all is to feel safe, and all changes in life itself, changing life, are perceived as very unsafe and the source of anxiety. So for obsessive compulsive personality, the stability is the key thing. If you will watch movie Chocolate, you will see the same tendency there. The mayor of the small town, he's very well represented as obsessive personality. So they try to create structures, they try to create plans, they try to observe how you keep those plans, processes, and all those things are meant to create something stable, something which what you can prognose, which you can know in advance, and this way they feel safe. Anything which is new for them, as I told, it's the source of anxiety. In job situations, in office situations, you can watch those people. They are very precise, they are very detail-oriented, and when you come with new tasks to them, first reaction, it's always, whoa, stop, I have my plan. Go away with your new ideas and whatever you have in your mind now. And they need more time to get used to new thoughts, new ideas, and it's not the best way to get angry with them because of those traits, because they are not able to react in another way. This is their way to react to new things. And as I told, this is the answer why they seek some stability and processes and structure. So here is, you can see in the slide more things which describe this personality, and I will not go bullet by bullet. I will just try to talk about the most important things, or maybe, at least for me, most interesting things. So what you have to understand, those people, they are really people of moral, people of rules, and for them, actually they are very reliable. If they gave you a promise, those people will actually literally die for that promise, and they feel very badly. Their self-esteem actually is built on this keeping promises, being morally right, and that's also the problem, because they think that being morally right, it makes you better than other people, and in this way they sometimes become very critical to others, and not actually sometimes, they are very critical to others, but still they are very critical to ourselves. They are always in anxious mode, thinking consciously or unconsciously, do I behave in the right way? So that's why they are very constrained and very just, I don't find the best word, but still they are very, they are not showing emotions, and they are being very watchy to what they do, what they say, and etc. So another thing important to understand, I already used similar words for being workaholic, but now it's time to say that those people, they are working a lot. They are trying to be perfect in their processes, in their job, and that means that they can sacrifice their personal life for the goal of I don't know, of the organization, whatever it is. And being a manager, it is always a challenge, because when you give yourself to the goal, you seek to be perfect. You don't stop working after 5 o'clock, and etc. It's hard to be, or hard to show empathy for those who are tired. And when employee comes to manager asking for free day, or complaining with, I don't know, of being very tired, usually he gets the answer, well, everybody is tired here. you have to work hardly to reach the target. So don't come with here with those strange complaints. So being this way, it lets you to reach a lot and still makes a distance among you and other people. I already told about this being emotional, moral and right, but in general they have an idea that there is always the right way to do and wrong way to do. It's either one, either another. And that's why this belief makes them sometimes stuck in decision making, because in life actually there is no right or wrong way. There is sometimes better, worse way, but they are always looking for the best solution, for the right solution, and sometimes they are stuck with decision making. They don't let go the idea that they have to be the perfect in their decision. Also, they are, as I told already, extremely structured people. They are very plan-oriented, and all good things which are related with these traits. Also, there are things which are as a price of that. I mean that they stuck to the plan. They cannot let go of it. They get irritated when the plan changes, whether it is during your vacation or it is during your project. They lack flexibility and lack letting plan to change. Yeah. So another important thing, and actually these are also guidelines for development for yourself. They are highly occupied with guilt, and usually when we are talking about how to grow as a person, we are trying to understand the idea that you have to look for the essence, not for the details. Meaning that is it important that your workers are drinking too much coffee during the day, or it's actually more important that they feel better by communicating more? So we talk how to look at the essence of the problem, at the essence of managing and at the essence of different things. Yeah, you can see also a bullet point where it's written that they are self-punishing. Yeah, that's also true to say that they are, they can, for example, in the movie there is a good example in chocolate. You can see the person who doesn't eat for a long time because he has a belief that he has not to eat, and it's not difficult for him to do that. They are those kind of people who can stay without pleasant things, and they don't feel bad. And they don't understand those people who seek pleasure because it's not morally right. You have you know, to have ideals and etc. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to tell, actually not going bullet by bullet kind of story. So some things I already told, but I can also mention once again the most important things. Talking about strength, you have to understand that those people, they are strong-willed and goal-directed, beautiful, as I told, and they have strong sense of justice. So usually it's not strange that those people become managers in the company, and those traits are very important for a manager. Still, as I told, the problem is usually connection with people. their relationship with other people is very technical. They think that they can, like a machine, they can change some details in person and he will change. So they expect that raising salary by certain amount will change the motivation of the person. They don't realize that the person is more complicated, that it's not enough for once to say thank you and it will change the person. So that's the problem, coming back to issues to grow for the person, to see person, as a human, not as a machine. But yeah, coming back to strengths, we have to say that he is very structured and systematic person. Yeah, well, a few more slides for describing this person. So all things which I said are here, and yeah, one more thing, what is actually it's annoying when you are close to those people. They are very controlling, and they try to micromanage you, and they always know the best way. This is the reason why people or employees leave companies, because they don't feel trust, they don't feel enough space for them to act, and also criticism, lack of spontaneity. These are also issues for the person to deal with, to become more open to his own experience and more spontaneous. It's easy to say, difficult to do. Yeah. So, if to point out 3 things to deal with or to work on, if you have a lot of this personality structure, here they are. First of all, try to be more spontaneous, try to let for yourself to be more authentic, because usually all authenticity of the personality is suppressed. So this one is one of the important things. Another thing is to try to develop non-attachment, and these words from Buddhism, these are very good thoughts to think of. Yeah, to develop non-attachment to plans, non-attachment to ideas, to the structure you created, and yeah, to develop intuition of essence, as I told, as a contrast to being detail-oriented. Yeah, one more movie which I think it's not worth to try to see explanation. It's not good, but the movie you can see by your own. It's Silver Linings, and the character in this movie is De Niro, which is
Deshaun Jackson. What happened to Deshaun Jackson? Blue glasses with long, scraggly hair.
What about the lightning with the kite? He stood in the storm with the kite.
He wasn't on a $100 bill. Nobody would even know who he is. He got so many of these things.
Don't touch it.
I didn't even touch him. Why you? Don't blame me.
Who did this? Who took the remotes like this? Did you do this, Randy?
No, I don't touch them. As a matter of fact, I don't know why you need so many.
It's none of your
Hey,
business why I need
there she is. Look how beautiful.
What?
Hey.
What's this?
Hi.
Everything good?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Where is it?
It's right here.
You got it. Oh, well, we got that. We don't want them to steal that.
Still got yours?
Yeah, I got mine. So you don't talk to me? You didn't tell me you took him out?
Well, he's ready. Look at him.
You didn't tell Dad you were picking me up?
Don't worry
about that.
I want to make sure when you come out that you're okay. And she didn't say anything. You didn't tell me why.
The court said yes. Don't worry.
Yeah, but what did the doctor say? Because the court listens to the doctor.
Yeah,
the court listens to the doctor.
Relax. The court said it's fine, okay? Let it go.
Yeah, don't worry.
Dad, I'm in there because of the court. That's the agreement that we made months ago. It was a plea bargain with the courts. The lawyer, he instructed, he said, what we should do is we should plead that, and then I would serve 8 months, and then I can get out.
It's all under control.
Well, okay, congratulations. Sit down, come on, sit down. We're 7 minutes in, no score. Come on, help turn the juju around.
I don't believe in juju,
Oh, come on, Mr. Excelsior. You want to be positive? Be positive. Sit down.
All right.
Come on.
For a second, I'll watch the beginning of the game.
He said you're good luck, honey.
What's that in your hand? Handkerchief?
Yeah.
That's OCD. That's crazy.
What OCD? So I want my son to watch the game with me. So sue me. No, sit down. Come on. I want you to watch the game with me.
I do, but
nice.
Dad,
I'm not superstitious. It's a small thing that I do. If I make a lot of money, what's the difference if I do this or that? It's a small thing. Sit down. Come on.
I'll bet I know what happened. If only one is missing. Either Dolores or Pat needed an envelope, and one of them took it. That's the only answer.
Dolores, somebody was in my study. Who took one of my envelopes? Somebody took an envelope.
Maybe we should call the FBI.
No, don't make fun. It's serious. What FBI? Come on, take a look. I'll show you what this is. I'm going to just explain to you something. I mean, you know what I'm doing, honey. This is everything like this. I got this at all correspondence.
Dad, I borrowed one of your envelopes. I hope that's not a problem.
No, it's not okay. It's not okay.
Do
You
not
gotta
go
ask.
in my study, or I
No,
will
it's
eat
not
you.
funny. It's not funny. What's everybody making a joke out of this for?
So the final thoughts for you to carry away from this webinar. Some things to know about motivation or demotivation for those people. So they are very highly motivated by duty, by respect in the organization. They sometimes money is always important, but if they don't feel respect, they will be highly demotivated. Clarity of processes, clarity in everything we do, structure, possibility to think and to act, not to be in some vague, unclear situations. And of course, the motivation is clear: chaos, ambiguity, constant change. So sometimes no money can save those employees if the environment is very chaotic, ambiguous, and always changing. And final thing for you to know, it could be some different strategies. It's not very fair to talk about behavioral strategies with those people because each situation is very different, but still there can be some tips for you. So for any personality, it's important to learn to accept with compassion actually their weaknesses and endorse strengths. That's the way actually to any good relationship. And going further, try to be more formal and show respect, avoid being familiar, respect rules. We cannot sometimes agree, but still respect need for the rules for those people, and keep the structure, be precise, ask for their opinion. These are things which help to create a relationship with them. And of course, avoid being dominant, except it is a very hierarchical structure, which usually they like. But still, if you are in the same level, not try to dominate, not try to be dominant. Don't push to unexpected situations, especially unexpected social situations. For example, for those people to meet new people in, I don't know, different events. It is very anxiety raising events, so don't ask them to do that. And yeah, I already told avoid chaos and spontaneity. So this is it for the presentation. I see I took already 50 minutes. So if you have any questions, I will try to answer them. If you want to go deeper into the topic, you can read the book I showed you in slides. Also, there are a lot of different interesting articles and different movies I can recommend you. So if you want something to know more precisely, you also can write me a letter. I think colleagues, Emma or Lieva from Lithuania can share. So that is it.
Thank you very much, Paulius. Do we have any questions from the audience? You can write them in the chat box if not. I'll kick off with one, Paulius, if that's okay. When it comes to employers, when they're interviewing, do you think that they're looking at personality traits much more today than they used to in the past? And if so, how are they doing this?
Do you mean companies which conduct?
Yes, if they put a job advert out and they're interviewing, how do they find that fit?
I don't think they do it more than earlier, because this topic it's not a new topic actually, but it's new for business. But another thing is important is that it's not very good actually to go very deep into personality while looking for an employee, because it's important the construct of the team as also it's important different situations. When looking for concrete personality, you narrow your options. Actually, well, I think I'm not being very precise to your question, because I don't know how they are looking for the people now. But still, what I could say that it's better to look for the people who are of the same values as your organization, not the person who has a certain personality. So yeah, maybe I can answer this one.
Okay, thank you. I have a message in the chat box. Could you tell us what is the most common or what's the most popular personality type that you tend to meet?
Yeah. Well, actually, they are spread quite evenly, but we are observing very interesting tendencies. For example, obsessive compulsive personality, it was personality of last century. And now the dominant personality type, of course, is narcissism. And I'm reading a lot of different articles which say that psychopaths are actually becoming more and more frequent in business organizations. So yeah, it could be answered this way.
Wow, that's scary.
yeah, because you don't know maybe a lot of details about this psychopath. It doesn't. It isn't so bad as it sounds.
I'll take your word for it, Paulius. I have another question in the chat box. What is the best mix of personality types within a team? Do you think a lot of different types, or like so opposites? Does he sometimes say opposites attract?
Yeah, that's actually a good question, because it's important two things. First of all, for manager to understand that whatever type of personality he has to change, adapting to requirements of his team and business environment. This I know that it's not the answer for the question. So for the team, it's usually for the manager, it's usually the best way to look like for the element which is lacking. What do I mean? When you have the culture of obsessive compulsive behavior in the company, it usually sooner or later it starts to remind us swamp. And in that case, usually you could look for hysteroid personality, which gives very different perspectives. So it's not good to think about constant combination of a team. It's important to understand what element of the team is needed now for the team to perform in this given situation and business environment.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you have a lot of schizoid persons who are very quiet, they are very detached and etc., and you need some, I don't know, structure, you understand that you need this obsessive compulsive personality. And if you need kind of ambition in the team, you are looking for more narcissistic personality and etc. So it's not about a combination, it's about understanding what elements you need.
Okay, on that note then, I have another question that kind of links in from the chat box from the audience. How can you tell when a person is suppressing certain traits, but then those traits actually come out when they're maybe more relaxed or in a more comfortable environment? So how can you tell, maybe like at an interview stage, how do you know who's the real person?
Can you try to explain?
Yeah, so it's how can you tell when a person is suppressing certain traits? So they may be obsessive compulsive, they may be the psychopath type, but perhaps in an interview that doesn't come across, or in a day-to-day situation until maybe you know, it comes out at a later time. How can you tell in advance?
Yeah, you know, first of all, you can have as we call deep interview to understand better the person, but still, when you try to understand personality, it's like looking at the picture and trying to describe the style of the picture. You have to see and understand the whole picture. You cannot look at the certain part and try to guess what kind of picture it is. In this case, it's the same. You are looking not for suppressed or emotions. You are looking how the person keeps the relationship with you when you are interviewing him. You are looking at the construction of sentences. You are trying to hear what stories does he tell, what he likes, dislikes, and etc. And it's not only just looking for suppressed emotions. And furthermore, even obsessive compulsive personality having in his structure, for example, a little bit of this hysteroid personality, he can be spontaneous. When I'm describing this personality, I usually use like a picture, idealized picture. So you shouldn't have the idea that all obsessive compulsive persons are the same. They are very different. So it's actually what I usually try to tell for all participants in my training. It's not a good way to try to diagnose people. Actually, it's one of the best ways to destroy relationship. It's important. It's first of all actually useful for yourself to understand how you could grow, and less useful for diagnosing, especially at the beginning when you don't understand a lot. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Paulius. I'm just taking a note of the time now. So, as Paulius said, if you have any other questions, please feel free to send them to Yeva or myself, and we'll forward them to Paulius, or we can pass on Paulius's email address to you. Okay. Paulius, a very interesting subject. A little bit scary in places, and I've seen too many of my own traits in your presentation today. Yeah, thank you. Really appreciate your time and effort today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, you too. Goodbye, everybody.